The Don, Tony, and Kevin Castle Show contains explicit language and is intended for mature audiences only. But just because you're mature doesn't mean you can't be a little naughty.
What's up, everyone? It is June 22nd, 2015, and thank you, Jeff Jarrett, for putting wrestling back on the map. Global Force Wrestling, feel the boom. It's coming to a town near you. And this past weekend, Pearl, Mississippi, 138 people witnessed Global Force Wrestling. And they had the opportunity to buy Jeff Jarrett guitars at a very cheap price of $250 a piece. Not making it up. What's up, everyone? It's June 22nd in 2015. Welcome to this edition of the Don, Tony, and Kevin Castle Show. Believe it or not, right now, we actually have more listeners tuning in live the first 3 minutes of the show than all of the Global Force Wrestling events that have taken place so far combined. I am Don Tony. He is
Jeff Jarrett. Broke 4,000 guitars and never drew
a fucking dime.
Never drew a dime.
You know, again, I need to say this. Jeff Jarrett never
raped my grandpa.
He never raped my mother. He never beat up my father. He never groped me as a child.
That has nothing to do with
right.
it. I don't think people say he never did anything to me personally.
Yeah, it's nothing personal. It's just that.
Why would he do anything? Did you live next door to him? How would he do something to you personally?
No. Put it this way.
Did we ever do anything to anybody personally who hates our show and doesn't like our show? Does anybody know us? No. I mean, I love when you have to apologize before you don't like something.
Yeah, I mean, look, for 16 months.
Fuck that. It sucks. It's a lame promotion. It's not going to do dick. Ring of Honor is great. Global Force is a joke.
For 16 months, Kevin Castle and Don Tony have been telling everybody.
No apologies.
We've been telling everybody that this was going to happen, not because we don't like Jeff Jarrett, but because it's common sense. It's the current state of wrestling. It's fucking look. The fucking guy does an interview with Rolling Stone this weekend. And they asked him, what's Global Force Wrestling about? And basically, the whole
Speaking
deal,
of things that don't draw any money anymore.
Yeah, no, but the thing is
Rolling Stone magazine is still in business.
He keeps talking about having
a magazine that's seen better days.
He keeps talking about having working relationships with like 15 fucking different countries, and that it's going to be like a throwback, like the territory. You have all different people coming in from different places. And the funny thing is that a whole bunch of our listeners from Mississippi were exchanging private messages from our Facebook page and about Jeff Jarrett's show. And there was about 14 people that were going to go to Jeff Jarrett's show that did not go. Now, there was a couple that did. But of those 14 people, I asked each one of them the same exact question, because I wanted to see their response. And I said, why did you decide you weren't going to go? And I got almost the identical response.
I had to mow the lawn.
Yeah, no. But nobody blamed it on the lawn. I actually could say that. But Jeff, I hope you're listening to this. All right.
He's not.
The reason that I kept getting over and over again is, how the fuck do you keep doing interviews talking about your Global Force Wrestling, that you have working relationships with 15 different fucking companies, and you launch your fucking promotion, you advertise this Grand Slam, I'm going to go to all these baseball fields tour to kick off your promotion, and there is nothing. This is pretty much what I was told over and over again. Show me what is global about your Fed. Chris Masters, Shelton Benjamin, Scott Steiner, Hacksaw Jim Duggan. There's nothing wrong with those guys. I don't mind watching those guys wrestle. But when you
20 years ago,
when you advertise yourself as a global promotion, and there is not one person internationally that flew in from Japan, flew in from Mexico, flew in from India, flew in from Pakistan, flew in from any other country, and there's none. So how do you call yourself global? If I open up Don Tony's fucking tamales, and I'm going to have all these imported tamales from all these different countries, and then I open my doors, and what am I selling? Fucking ice cream. Where the fuck is my imported fucking food? You advertise, and your biggest, I've said it all along. This is Jeff Jarrett's, one of his last attempts to try to stay involved in wrestling. And these baseball fields, for all of you people that have these events, I don't care what the outcome is. I don't care if they did a 10,000 or 100. All right, but the thing is, and I said it last week, and I'll leave it at this, is that for anybody who's going to turn around and say, well, they're paid shows already, they're really not losing any more money than was already.
Well, get a business degree, genius.
Yeah, and not only that, you find...
I can't even listen to
at least, Jeff Jarrett don't even fucking live in Mississippi.
He lost 17,000, but it doesn't count.
If anybody out there...
For money to never work with people like that. I couldn't work one day with anybody who had a lose mentality, and then it was okay to lose and okay to be behind the eight ball from the get-go. You're just in a world of fucking hurt for the rest of your tenure there. It's totally not worth it. It's like getting blown out in the first game, and you have 5 injuries. They don't bring any good minor leaguers up. They're like, you know what? We're just going to use all the C-level guys, and we're just going to get through the season. We're going to have a good time, and we're just going to go out there. Well, we want to win, coach. No. Winning is not. We don't got to win. No. Maybe 5-10 years down the road, we'll win a season. I don't want to be involved with anybody like that. I fucking hate to lose. And not only do I hate to lose, I hate loser mentality. And look, everybody can't be in first place or whatever, but from the get-go, if you're on this like, oh, it's going to take time and whatever, we've heard this before, but, shit is shit. And you cannot, first of all, the colossal mistakes made from the get-go with where they booked with the first show.
Yeah.
Huge mistake. Huge mistake. Number 2, no marquee value names on the bill. Stop with the Hacksaw Jim Duggan, Scott Steiner. Yeah, I was a big fan in 1990. I met Jim Duggan a few years ago. He's a nice guy. He is 60 years old. Enough of this nonsense. If I start a baseball team, I'm not recruiting Kurt Schilling and Matt Noakes to start as my pitcher and catcher. Okay? Get a fucking clue, people. I mean, seriously, talent that's in their prime, talent that's up and coming, talent that has some sort of realistic chance to draw money. Old names drew old money, old times, past tense, okay? You want to prove a bigger point? Have Jim Duggan. I went to an autograph signing with Jim Duggan. There was 5 people there, okay? And that was in New York City. So, I mean, you have to know your market. You have to know who draws. It's not it's really, this is where the phrase comes in. It's not personal. It's business.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
Business. And if you don't know business, you shouldn't be in that business.
And this is the thing. I feel bad for the local promoters or wannabe promoters that live in these states that down the line could go to these same baseball fields and say, hey, look, I want to put on a wrestling show. And you know what these baseball fields are going to say? Yeah, you're going to pay top dollar. Yeah, but you bent over backwards for Jet. Yeah, but he only drew 150. So this guy is fucking up these places for other people that may want to hold events there in the future. And as far as Jeff Jarrett goes, you never get a second chance at a first impression. I don't care if fucking Don West offers your wife to blow me in order to go to this show. All right. The problem is that when you launch these shows and it's obvious that you're not flying people in because you're already taking a bath on the shows, that shows you don't give a fuck about that town. If you're going to advertise, look, I made fun of fucking Slash locally here when he did the Mexican wrestling events in fucking some Spanish club in fucking Queens.
Yeah, but here's the difference before you even say something like that. This is Jeff Jarrett, a guy who the Jarrett family has been in wrestling for 60, 70 years. Jerry Jarrett's parents, Jeff Jarrett's 70-year-old father, his parents were in wrestling. He is in a McMahon-like legacy, juiced into the business. It's in the family blood. It's in the family foundation. Don't compare Jeff Jarrett to other promotions, Jack Sabbath, Processing Syndicate, all those guys, because those guys do a good job, and those guys are much younger. They are not legacies in the business. They didn't have a father or a grandfather in the business, and those guys put on better shows, in my opinion, than the guys like Jeff Jarrett. Oh, I'm such and such. I've been in the business for 50 years. I know what I'm doing. I got news for you. I think Jeff Jarrett could learn something from some of the independent promoters, the younger guys of today, and even the Ring of Honor guys. They put on a better show. They put on a better product. I think
Jeff,
they do better attendance. So I don't even want to hear that excuse, because I think some guys who have never been in the business or don't have family in the business do a better job than Jeff Jarrett does.
Exactly, because they don't, it's just business to them. And Jeff Jarrett should be having working relationships with promoters around the United States.
I got old Tommy Rich in me tonight.